Weston Martinez Hall. We're here today at a pro-Israel rally here in Dallas County at Salado Park. And Bob, good to see you.
Good to see you, Weston. Good to see these good folks again, and very proud to have been asked to speak at this pro-Israel gathering to counter all of what we've been going to, which are called pro-Palestinian, which really are not pro-Palestinian. They are anti-Jewish gatherings. And it is a shame that we have that going on in our country. So I am very happy to be here to support our Jewish friends who worship the same God that we worship, and glad to support them. I'm also going to be glad to support fixing one of the problems we've encountered with our election systems. Elections are very important to a free country. Israel has free elections. We need to get back to having elections that we know can count on. Our current elections are like a black box. There is no transparency, there's no accountability, and the outcomes are actually not knowable, what we currently have. And one of the things contributing to that is this crazy idea that we picked up a few years back called county-wide voting.
Yeah.
It was a change made for the convenience, for people that were too lazy to go to their precinct and vote. So we implemented county-wide voting. Well, now we've learned how sinister that is, because if you vote county-wide, your vote can be revealed. It is known exactly how you voted, not just where you voted, but actually the vote that you cast can now be identified for everyone that's voting countywide. Now, there's no constitutional requirement that we have countywide voting. We need to get rid of that. It's just it's being done with a waiver issued by the Secretary of State's office, and it's time that we ended that waiver and get back to protecting the vote. Now, those are going to say, oh, we can't give up the convenience. Let's just hide the data so the public can't get it. And I say, absolutely not. We have too much of government that's run on secrecy. We don't need to have secrecy to cover up our mistakes. We need to fix the mistakes by making the changes we need to make. Covering it up in secrecy is not the American way to do it. It's not the Texan way. The Texan way is open and honest elections, and that's what we need to have.
And that's exactly what we were talking about in between what we're doing with this event today. And we're so glad to be working with this and helping to co-host this event. And glad that Senator Bob Hall, who has always stood for freedom and for our values. And as we're talking about election integrity, both being election integrity experts, we're talking about things that needed to be changed. And knowing that this waiver would have a direct impact right now on our elections in November. Right, Senator? That's what
Absolutely.
we're talking about.
No, we need to make this change before the November elections.
We don't even have to have a special session for this?
No special session.
We don't
It's all being done by the Secretary of State's office.
And
it
again,
can be done.
And this is, don't let anybody misinterpret this. This is not a rock thrown at the Secretary of State or anybody in that agency. We're saying, hey, administratively, here's a solution. We're two technical guys. We like solving problems, and we don't need to get emotional about it. But this is something we can do right now, and it won't cost us any money. It'll secure the elections, and it'll give us the ability to contain what's taking place. Even just yesterday, I was telling the senator, even just yesterday, we had in our municipal elections that I was partaking in, and I know Senator was as well. I had people the first morning, election day, the ballots were switched. They had the name of a candidate in a different race. Well, when it's a countywide vote, most people don't know what the senator knows and has brought out through his recording that he made, his presentation about ballots, is that it impacts the entire county. It's not isolated. And when you have precinct level voting, you can isolate a problem like that and not have that situation be so issued. But you've uncovered that for a while.
Oh, yeah. And let me say that this is what Weston said about the Secretary of State's office. They are very much in favor of having open, honest, and secure elections. There's no question about it. This is something that happened and nobody realized that when the voting machine companies implemented the way they're doing it, it resulted in being able to identify the voter and their vote. And I've been working with the Secretary of State's office on some changes to our election process. And I got to tell you, they are extremely cooperative. They understand the need for it. And I can't say enough good about Secretary Nelson and the folks that work for her in the Secretary's office of sincerely wanting to find any issue we have and correct it. And I think that this is one that should be at the top of the list. And I look forward to working with them. And I know that we can get this done.
And we appreciate you guys tuning in and sharing this information. We're in the process of putting together an informational video and a press conference related to this particular subject and some other things that are related to waivers, but not specifically granular to this. And so when the senator and I were talking about it, I said, man, this is absolutely correct. And we should do a quick video about it to let the grassroots know that we truly have an opportunity that will protect the elections in a way that is exponential and is a way that'll make sure every vote counts and will have a positive impact across the board for all Texas voters, regardless of who you're voting for. And that's something that myself, Senator Bob Hall, and people that we work with are committed to. So, Senator, thank you for always standing up for the citizens of Texas. And God bless you guys. God bless Texas. And thanks to Weston Martinez.